Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Hatha Yoga. Welcome to Hatha Yoga. And today we're going to dive into below that anxiousness, remembering that I feel anxious. I'm not anxious. That I am being a very powerful phrase. I am anxious makes you, guess what? Anxious. So I might feel some anxiety. I might feel worried or feel tense, but I'm not that. I'm not that. So I wanted to play with that today. So just coming into a comfortable position here. Welcome yourself to the mat. Welcome yourself to this time. It is not easy, right? It's not easy to make time for ourselves. It's not easy to roll out the yoga mat. It is easy to wear comfy pants, finding it very easy. But just to pause, pausing our busyness, our kids and the dogs and the Netflix and the news and all of that chatter, the chores, the dust bunnies, all of that is sitting right outside of you, but we want to just pause for a moment. And you can do that with your eyes closed. Keep your eyes open. And we're just going to come into just being aware that we are being aware. We're going to come into being aware of our surroundings, being aware that we're on a yoga mat, being aware we're following this class, being aware of the noises in the building, the house, the room, the outside. And then there's a part right behind that where we are aware that we are being aware. So we call that the witness mind. That part does not have anxiety. So we want to be leaning into that witness mind. So let's begin that now. Again, gently closing the eyes if that feels safe and comfortable to you. Otherwise, just look down towards your knees and listen to the sounds in the room, the building, the home. All the different noises perhaps you hear. Maybe you hear the hum of your home. It sounds of the heat, the air. Maybe your dog is scratching or your kids are arguing or whatever. Just listen to all of it without getting caught. What noises do you hear? So here we are being aware of these noises. Can you feel or sense or touch into this deeper self, this part of you that's aware that you're being aware? That mindful awareness, that near and far. I am the ego, I'm the personality, I'm doing yoga right now, I'm listening to my noises right now, I'm doing all that, but there is something watching behind all of that. Maybe you can feel it, maybe not. Just being aware that we are being aware. Start to turn the awareness now inward. Turn on that inner gaze, that inward glance towards ourself, and start to feel yourself breathing. And before you do good breathing or yoga breathing, let's just see how the breath is moving today. This is part of that welcoming ourselves. What are you showing up with today? Does the breath feel very held and restricted and tight? bouncy? Does it feel smooth and deep? Just noticing whatever it is, challenging yourself not to make it or shape it or fix it in any way. Just let it be, let it be, let it be, watching it. So again, here is your awareness, being aware of the breath rhythm. But then behind that is an awareness of it all. It's not doing anything, it's just there. Take another minute here, just watching yourself breathe. No need to make it good or rhythmic or yogic. Just let it be what it is. Being aware, and also being aware that you are being aware. That perspective of near and far. Do you hold your breath? Do you breathe out and then wait before you breathe in? Do you breathe in and then wait before you breathe out? Do you hold your breath somehow? Not right or wrong, we're just noticing the truth. Good. Very good. All right. So there's what we're presenting with. Maybe you're noticing you're really tight, you're really worried, and you're really anticipatory, and you're really into expectations, and you're really sitting on the edge of your seat. Maybe you're noticing that. But then behind that is a calmness. I'm hoping you start to become aware that there is something behind it. So I'm watching myself really ready to attack this class, but I'm also just sitting there enjoying all of this experience. So that's what we want to be leaning into, is this idea that I am feeling worried, tense, anxious, sore, da, 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 but I am not that. Okay. So we're going to start today with Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breathing. If you have a deviated septum or you're congested in any way, then feel free to use your fingers like this and sort of steer the nostrils. Otherwise, we'll be using our fingers, the ring finger and the thumb on the right hand. We're going to do it a little bit different. We're going to take pause by putting our hand in our lap each time. Okay, so we'll do about 8 rounds of this together. So taking your right hand, this is really sort of balancing our breath, balancing our brain to come back into that here and now. Okay, right hand, close up the left nostril. So we got that right nostril nice and open. Take a big inhale. Relax the hand to your lap, hold your breath, and then close the right nostril and breathe out through the left. Breathe in through the left. Relax your hand, hold, and close the left, breathe out through the right. Breathe in through the right. Relax your hand and close the right, exhale left. Keep going, inhale left. Relax, hold, exhale right. Inhale right. Relax. Exhale left. Inhale left. Relax the arm, hold. Exhale right. Inhale right. Relax the arm. And exhale left. 3 more. Inhale left. Relax the arm. Settle into that stillness. Exhale right. Inhale right, drinking it all the way up to the middle of your brain. Relax the arm. Exhale left. Last one, big inhale. Relax the arm. Close the left, exhale right. Relax the arm, and now take in 5 breaths through both nostrils and exhale through both. Leaning back into that awareness. Starting on these last couple of rounds to ask yourself, why are you on your mat right now? Why are you here? Why are you watching this? What is it you need today? So we're going to set our 1 or 2 word mantra, that promise to ourselves, that sankalpa. After this hour is over, how do you want to feel? What are you leaning into? Really settle in on your intention. We'll take 5 breaths here. Why are you here? How do you want to feel? One more deep breath. Bringing your palms to touch, thumbs against your heart, bow your chin to your chest. Slowly open your eyes, see your fingertips, and remember this promise that you're making to yourself, this mantra. Repeat it to yourself a few times. To me, today, it's togetherness. I want to feel togetherness with you. I'm so, so, so glad you're here, okay? All right, let's do this. What we're going to do is again, you need 2 blocks, you need a strap, and you're going to need a blanket. We're going to stand up nice and tall here, elbows to our ribs, palms facing up, and just check in again. I'm standing. My body is standing. I'm aware that my body is standing, but then I'm leaning back a little bit that I'm aware that I'm standing. And if this gets confusing for you, just let it float by. At some point, it might sparkle something in you. So here we are, we're standing up nice and tall. The head is sitting right on top. The shoulders are relaxing. The belly lock is engaged. The tailbone is tilted, but not tucked and not squeezing. We're activating those quadriceps and we're feeling held by this floor. You can pedal out the feet even. Feel how the floor is totally holding you. It's amazing. It's amazing how this floor is holding you so perfectly. You're not tilting, right? It's got you just the way it is, just the way your body is stacking. Let's test the floor. Let's see if the floor really is holding us. 12 times. Here we go. Big inhale. Exhale. Sit back, keeping the knees right over the ankle so you can see your toes, and then come back up. 11 more times. Sit down, maybe touch the floor, and up. Just juicing it up, feeling that floor really holding you. Ankles are moving, knees are moving, hips are moving. Double check that you're keeping hip distance in those knees and ankles. The knees aren't buckling together. You're keeping that nice alignment. Some of you might feel really nice reaching for the stool behind you, really feeling that leaning back. If it feels too much on the back, keep a little bit of a tilt there. Your choice. Just juicing up these joints. And 5. How does it feel held? Completely held. You can be as heavy as you want through those feet, really spreading out. And 3. And 2. And 1. Hold it. Utkatasana, sitting in nice and deep here, keeping those knees and ankles hip distance apart. You can see your toes. Shoulders are relaxed. Thumb against your heart. Nice neutral neck. So supported. So supported. Held. Push into the floor. Feel that floor holding you as you're rocket shipping up. Pubic bone, ribs, everything is lifting from the waist up, but from the waist down, you are so anchored too. Held, supported, grounded, rooted. I belong. One more. Beautiful. And come on up and reset. Close your eyes and check on the breath. Were you holding here? Does it get short and choppy here? See if you can bring it back to that alternate nostril rhythm that we had. Inhale and exhale. Right back into the inhale. Keep going. Remember, the whole point of these yoga poses is so that your breath can be free. When your breath is free, your life spirit is free. You feel free. So we don't want to do a yoga pose and lose the breath, because then we've lost the yoga. So the whole idea is to keep that breath really free. And if you really feel strong, if you really feel tight today and really anxious, open your mouth and just, I always like to say it's like a teenager when you ask them to take out the garbage, right? Really nice and calming those anxiety waters, those ripples. Let's do 3 more like that. So supported by this floor, so many tools to move through my energy. I am. Beautiful. All right, let's start to take our strap now. We're going to do a little bit with our shoulders here to get ready. Okay, so standing up nice and tall, find that mountain pose. We're going to take the shoulders behind us as much as we can. Some folks can go all the way back, some folks not so much. Just figure out where it is for you. And then, as I say in class, double check that you're not punking out those wrists. Look at this floppy little wrist. That's not powerful. We want to be really powerful here, opening up these channels of our body. Now, as you're feeling this strap nice and open, take the head of your arm, the top of your arm, and feel like it's giving a hug here. So instead of really poking it out here, you're going to keep your integrity, so there's a softness as you're pulling back. I like to think it's like you're hugging a really big tree. Sitting up here with nice and long spine, look to the left and look to the right. And look to the left. Imagine your head is on a pillow. You're on your bed, and it's just rolling side to side. 3. I feel tense. I feel tight, but I am not that. I can go below it. I can witness it. I can shape it, but I don't get caught by it. One more. Beautiful. All right, we're going to take our right arm up. We're going to release the strap. Okay. And if you don't have a strap, you can use a bathrobe tie, a belt, a scarf, anything like that. And now we're going to take our right hand, put it behind our neck, close the shoulder, being very careful on that move, and grab a hold of the strap. Some of you can grab interlaced fingers, but maybe not today. Okay, so here we are. We have Gomukhasana, cow arms. I've got my blanket here, and I don't really want it here yet. I'm sorry if I told you to do that. Sorry. Scooch back, right foot back, Virabhadrasana, one legs, warrior one legs. So what we want to have is the right elbow on top, the left elbow down, the left foot forward, and the right foot back. So we're going to take our time here to straighten this left knee and then bend the left knee. And then straighten and bend. Now notice how you're feeling here as you're moving through this. Again, just saying hello to the body. You might find that this knee wants to go over that ankle. If that's happening to you, you need to scooch that leg further apart. We want that knee to be right on that left ankle. And then as we have this left leg strong, so we've got the left knee over the left ankle, we're going to imagine that this left hip is pulling back. And then bringing our attention now to the right elbow, to the right armpit, all the way down to the top of the right leg. There's a really nice back bend happening here. 3. Feeling that sense of opening, right elbow lifting, right armpit, all the way down to the top of that right leg. One more deep breath. Keeping yourself nice and safe, keeping the breathing nice and calm. Close that right hip by opening that heel off the mat now to above the toes. Lean forward and step the feet together. Relax the left arm and then relax the right. And pause. Wow, is that right? You can feel a lot of opening on that right side. Preparing for a series of back bends slowly. Let's switch sides. Take the left arm, close that right shoulder, being nice and easy with that shoulder. Start to walk the hands together. Again, maybe you can interlace your fingers, maybe not. This time our right foot's going to go forward, our left leg is going to go back. And we're going to bend and straighten and bend 3 more times. Wow, this body works so perfectly. How lucky am I to have this cool body? This works so well, right? Sending all that good thought, all that good energy to the body as you're starting to open. Okay, double check that your knee is right over the ankle. You're not going beyond. You're sitting up nice and tall. You've got a right hip now swiveling to behind you. And you've got a nice strong opening. And we're going to bring ourselves aware to the left elbow, to the left armpit, to the left top of leg, and breathe. Deep, deep, deep breaths. 2. Feel that opening, 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 opening. And gently come on out, come on out, come on out, and relax. Relax both arms and just roll your shoulders. Feeling that. Big opening. Now we're going to go back into that same pose, but let's talk about something. Here's our hip crease, right? We want this to be pulling back so that we really are getting some opening. Sometimes when we go into these lunges, we're shoving our hips forward and it just gets more tight there. So we want to have a softness. So we're going to play in this pose for a couple of rounds before we go back into the depth. Okay, so take your strap again. We'll start on the left arm up. Closing that right shoulder, left elbow up, right elbow down. Our right knee is forward and our left leg is back. Now take your left hip and bring it forward a little bit, but soften. So play with this little bit of a tilt here. So it's a softness. As we're keeping this left knee bent, you're feeling a little bit of an opening there, nice and soft. So it doesn't maybe look the way it would typically look if we were doing the most perfect lunge ever, but we want to be noticing little bits of awareness. Again, aware that we are being aware. Once you feel like you have it, maybe you'll extend that back leg back a little bit more. Lift the left elbow, left armpit, all the way down to that left hip, and we'll take 5 deep breaths. Softness. You could keep that knee bent if it feels better for your hip, better for the hip flexors here, better for this opening. Play. You feel that heat starting to kick on. One more. Good. Soft bend on that right knee. Take yourself up and release. Pause, notice. Okay, switching sides. Left leg up, right leg back. Strap in the right hand, take the arm up. Give yourself a pat on the back, especially if you've done some really good work this week. Nice job, nice job. Close that left shoulder. And the same thing, instead of the warrior one legs, now we're in a lunge. And we're going to play with this idea of just driving our pelvis, making all these little variants here so that we can feel what's happening there rather than that shoving forward. Soft bend on the knee if you want to, really playing with that action. Breathing is deep. What are you noticing about this body? What do you notice? Where do you hold the tension here? When you're ready, we're going to start to lean back a little bit. Take that right leg back, finding a nice lunge. Bend the knee if you need to. And here we are, sitting up nice and tall, lifting that right elbow all the way away from that top of the thigh. Nice big back bend here. Now, as you're moving to your extension, can you soften any kind of attachment, any kind of gripping or craving to go deeper? Let it, take it easy. Put yourself in the position and then soften it. 2 more deep breaths. One more. Good. And soften, lean forward and exhale. Come on up. Gently relax that left arm, relax that right arm, and just receive. Dump it out. 5 more breaths. What's all the things that you're noticing here? All the parts of you that are talking. All right, let's just focus on the arms this time, and then we'll go back with the legs. Taking the left arm up, okay, taking yourself in the pat of the back, closing that right shoulder again, back into this Gomukhasana, walking those hands as close together as you can. The left elbow is reaching up, the right elbow is dropping down. We've got a nice mountain pose here. We're going to take our left ear and just rest it on the arm and really focus on dropping that right elbow. A little neck opener. Remembering what you want today as you're opening up this right side of the neck. Gentle, gentle, gentle. If you find your mind chattering or trying to distract you, or you're getting bored or it's too intense, that's all thoughts. It's all thoughts. You get to pick which one you want to follow. Come back to this moment. You're going to feel great when this is over. So come back here. Okay, we're going to switch sides. Take your head up. Release the left arm and release the right. Notice the difference. Switching, take your right arm up. Pat yourself on the back, closing that left shoulder. This is a lot of integrity here. You need to close that shoulder with lots of mindfulness, and then taking and reaching back again, standing up nice and tall. And now rest your right ear on the arm, dropping that left shoulder. And here you are working on this, relaxing the neck and shoulders. But all this time that we're doing this, you're so held by the floor, completely supported. There's nothing you could do, right? You're so rooted here in the floor, grounded. You see that tap dance I just did? Right? You're so grounded and rooted. You can really let yourself feel that trust. I'm held here as I open. 3 more breaths. So held, so supported, rooted and grounded. 2 more big breaths. Beautiful. And gently put the head back on top. Release that left arm, release that right arm, and just circle the shoulders. And forward. Let that head sit right on top. Now we're going to just take 8 of these. Take your strap. You could keep it wide if you want to. I'm going to keep mine halfway. And we're going to take the arms up again, plug it in, exhale, bring the hands right behind the nape of the neck this time. And then push it back up. Exhale, pull down, feel that pulling down, and then push it back up. Feel the difference between the pull and then push. 4 more. Pull and push. So those of you who are back benders, right? A lot of times our back bends aren't where we want them to be because the shoulders are tight. So we're not going to do full back bends today, but this is a really nice prep for wheel pose for those of you who would want to explore it. We'll explore it later. 1 more. Good. And taking up and over and relax. Beautiful. Now we are going to take our blanket. And this is just for a little knee cushion. Sit it right in the middle of your mat here. And using the 2 blocks if that feels nice to you. So again, we're walking towards back bends, walking towards them. Take your right hip forward. Same thing we just talked about. We want to make sure that that knee is right over the ankle. We do not want this, okay? You want to make sure that that knee sits right on the ankle. And then notice this left side. So here I am, left hip over the knee. On this round, I'm going to be leaning forward. Same thing we just did in the standing poses, where we're going to have a nice softness here. So here we are in our lunge, and we're going to turn our tailbone behind us, and then we're going to turn the tailbone to the floor. So just play with that action. Just little bit pelvic tilts here. What's that like? Okay, taking it in now, leaning it forward. Some of you will be able to take your hands to the thigh, but are you smashing, right? A lot of times we're just shoving it forward. Soften a little bit. Pull it off the thigh a little bit. Soften that area. Some of you can take your arms up, or maybe taking your thumbs behind your head and leaning back. Whatever feels nice for you. So we're not trying to push the pelvis to the right foot. We're trying to lean the pubic bone back behind us, softening that. You can feel the challenge here. And sometimes when we're challenged, there's that like a, oh my gosh. That's what I want you to notice, that feeling of the, oh, I can lean back. I can soften. I don't have to go all the way. I can take it easy here. I can breathe. It's okay. One more. Good. And straightening that right leg, just take yourself over, little hamstring stretch. So what is so beautiful about practicing yoga, I always like to think of the yoga mat as a full-length mirror of us. We get to see the way we think, the way we move, the way we hold tension, the way we lighten up. The yoga mat is a full-length mirror of you, who you are. Because how you do anything is how you do everything. So this is a practice in exploring who you are. So just watch yourself here. Do you quit? Do you tell yourself you can't do it? Do you overdo it? Are you really aggressive and like a bully? This is a really nice practice in getting to know oneself. That's what it's for. Okay, good. Let's switch sides. Wiggle it out. Some of you may want to take a down dog here. Feel free to take your down dog and play in that pose. Some folks may want to sit back and pause. I think of thoughts like if you're shuffling cards, there's so many thoughts you can pick. Which one? Which one do you want to pick right now? Open myself, free myself, notice myself, calm myself, lean back. All right, second round. Let's take the left leg forward. Same exact thing here. Double check that you're not overextending. Taking your hands on the block. If you're feeling pressure on the kneecap, just slide it forward a little bit so that you're coming more up on the thigh than the kneecap. Sitting up nice and tall. And again, are you smashing that pelvis forward? See if you can play a little bit. Just soften a little bit, pulling it back. So you're still keeping the back bend, but you're full of integrity. You're not getting caught in that net of ego. You're doing it as the true self-care that it is. Your breathing is open. And you're using those exhales to really let go. Let's take our hands to the thighs for those of you who can. Otherwise, keep it on the blocks. And then pedal out that pelvis. Pubic bone comes back nice and soft on that right side. Beautiful body here. Beautiful, powerful body. Taking your arms up if that works for you. These are all levels that you can choose. How do you know which one's right for you? How are you breathing? Your breathing is starting to get choppy. You need to back off. Two more. And beautiful. Noticing exhale and pushing yourself back. Little hamstring stretch. What do you feel? Where do you feel it? Sitting in sensation. And then again, let's take our knees back. We'll take our blocks out of our way. And everybody now spreading your fingers, equal space between each and every finger. Curl your toes under and take yourself up to that downward facing dog. We'll hang here for 8 breaths. You can feel that release here, that pushing back of the top of your thigh. You can bend the knees and just feel the fluidity of that pelvis. Feel free to walk the dog if you want. Sense of like the armor that we wear or the guardedness that we wear. We're trying to get a little ooey, a little gooey on it. Keep going 2 or 3 more rounds of breath, or gently bringing your knees down and pause and wait. All righty, come on down, knees down, and sitting on your ankles if that feels nice. If it doesn't, just sit on a block. We're going to be here just for a couple of rounds of breath. Close your eyes and just notice. So back bends are very vulnerable, and sometimes they really poke at us, right? They really make us feel vulnerable, and anxiety starts to come back up. So notice if that's happening. Notice if the flutter's happening. And then again, closing eyes, just lean back. What is this I feel? And where? What is this? Where is this? It's like a dream, because I'm also peaceful as I watch. See if your breath has changed. See if you're really choppy now. See if you can calm it down. We'll take 3 more breaths. So held, so supported. Okay, very nice. Our last back bend, and then we're going to slow things down. Our last one. Okay, Ustrasana, camel. So I'm going to show you a couple different rounds. Please honor where you are, right? Yoga is about meeting you where you are. So for the most easy pose, curl your toes under. Let's all do these in levels, and then you'll break free for wherever you want. So we've got the same idea. We're scooping here. We're pulling the pubic bone up, but there's a softness here. We're not jutting forward. We always want the back bends to be middle spine and upper spine, not necessarily in the lower back, because that's adding a lot of compression. So I want you to keep a softness here. You could almost put a nickel right there. That nickel could hold there. All right, so here we are. We're going to just touch the left and then touch the right. Just do that. How does that feel? Keep that action where you could put a little nickel in that slot, nickel in the slot. I was going to say nickel in the quarter slot. Quarters are too big. Nickel. Boom, boom. Okay. Some of you will play with that. Some of you can take the left hand to the ankle, or you could take the hands to the blocks. So you decide which one feels best to you now, but you're still trying to keep that softness in the nickel slots. So how do you do that? You could pull those thighs back, chin to chest if it feels too dumpy in your neck, and we'll hold for 1 more big breath and then come out. We're going to do it again. That was just an exploratory. Can you move from here? Can you move from here? Middle spine, not back, not lower back, middle spine. So telescoping and open. Here we go. Second round out of 3. Again, you can do your twists, you can use your blocks, or you could grab the heels. Working at the deepest level, you could turn your toes under, okay? Breathing is soft, inner thighs are rolling, nickel slots are turned on. Lift the back ribs, exhale, come on down. You can look behind you if it's okay for your neck. I like to keep my chin close. And breathe. Softness in the lower body. You can feel yourself going into maybe this feeling of like, oh my gosh, breathe, surrender, exhale, come on back up. It's okay. Some of you are loving this, and some of you feel very challenged by this. Physically, emotionally, mentally, right? Just wherever you are, feel so supported. You've got those beautiful exhales. Last round, here we go. Find a level that really suits you. Maybe you want to go back to just turning. Maybe you want to do what we did on Monday and just hold the hands here with that strap imagining around your elbows. Last round, here we go. Pull up that pubic bone. Nickel slots are soft, nice and fluid. And 5 breaths. Start to lift the back ribs, lift the back ribs, lift the back ribs, and taking your hands down. Camel pose, Ustrasana. Big exhales. Share your light. Share your light. Keep lifting the back ribs. 2 more. One more. Beautiful. Exhale. Come on up. Maybe feeling a little tender. It's okay. And taking yourself into hands and knees and just pedal it out. You could take child's pose, resting on your ankles. You could go back up to downward dog. Breathe. Two more deep breaths. And coming down to your bottom. And we'll just sit in easy cross-legged pose for a moment and just notice ourselves here, feeling like that back was opened. And we'll take 5 big exhales together. Big inhale. You could keep that sigh, or those of you who want to get more of an exhale, close your mouth like you're blowing through a straw. Stay with us here. Leaning back into that awareness of the way you're being aware of the body. Leaning back like your head is on a pillow. Your bottom is held by the floor. You're okay. All right, let us counter that with Janu Shirshasana. Okay, so we need our belt. We're going to take our left heel in, and if we feel like the hip is tight, you can always put something underneath it. And we want to double check that that right hip is coming right out, or the foot is coming right out from the hip. We're not kicking it off. We're coming straight out, okay? Lasso that foot, and then sit up nice and tall. So we want to have our elbows straight here. So not bent, nice and straight. Sit up nice and tall. Feel your body breathing. Sit up nice and tall, big inhale. And from the top of that right thigh, the same thing we've been focusing on, let there be a nickel slot there, nice and soft. We're going to start to come forward just a little bit. Not enough that we're bringing a hump to the back, flat back. Here we go. Big inhale. And exhale. Keep those elbows straight. Some of you may not be moving at all. You're just working there. And for the next 8 breaths, breathe into your back, your sweet back that just did all that work for you. What's it feel like to tuck your chin, keeping the back in that nice flat back, but maybe dropping the chin? Really focusing on the right thigh. You're trying to lift the belly button out of your right thigh. That's the work. So you can feel maybe the hamstrings going, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. That's happening, right? The body is happening. You're receiving this, but then there's an awareness behind it that is not stirred up. Can you lean into that part? Some people call it the soul, the wise voice, the wise teacher, the higher power, the divine, whatever way you want to look at it, this beyond you awareness. 2 more big breaths, soft on those nickel slots, lifting that belly lock out of the thigh as you're watching yourself do all these cool moves. Good. And then come on back up. Okay, keeping this, just take a gander over that right shoulder, moving from the ribs. Keep looking at your right big toe, but twisting from the belly. It's kind of woo-woo to say, but I love it, is that which we are seeking is the part of us that seeks. I love that. Take your left leg out. That which we are seeking, what we seek in our world, what we seek in our lives, what we think will bring us happiness, is the part of us that's doing that, it's seeking. So this awareness that I'm being aware that I'm aware is the part that brings me peace, is the part that brings me inspiration and creative, openness. And that which we seek is the part of us that seeks. So this awareness behind the awareness is what we are seeking in our money, in our relationships, in our food and all that. It's that part of us. And you're here with it when you're on your mat. You're here with it when you're breathing. You're here with it whenever you're being mindful. I am aware that I am being aware. Okay? Sitting up nice and tall. Second side, nickel slot activated. Sitting up nice and tall with the elbows straight. Here we go. Big inhale. And exhale. So the awareness that you're going into Janu Shirshasana, your awareness that the hamstrings are probably a little tight, that the back feels a little bit like it's received some back bending. All of that's true. Aware that you're here on the video with me and those of us that are watching it, that your house and rooms are making noises. You're aware of all that. But then there's a part way back there that's aware of it all. And starting to lean forward a little bit. Again, pulling the belly lock out of the thigh. I am. Sat Nam, I am. You can bring the chin to the chest, but keep the nice flat back. You can feel the sensations in your body. You can feel yourself wanting to quit. You can feel yourself getting distracted or critical or judgmental. All that's happening, but there's something soft behind it. That curious part, that loving part, that pure consciousness part. I am here and I am right now. Two more. So good. So, so good. Come on up. Come on up. Little bit of turn here, feeling the ribs turning. You can keep gazing at that left toe now, just to double check that you're moving from middle spine, the part that we got worked today, not cranking out the head. Big inhale. Good. And exhale. Starting to head towards Shavasana. Very important pose. So start to slide yourself forward. You could take your blanket and place it underneath you if you want. You could take Happy Baby. You could put some blocks under your knees, whatever you need. Just take a moment to wash it away. Just wash it away. Feeling again the floor so held. Keep using that big open mouth exhale if that feels like it helps you drop. Or if you feel like you need a bigger exhale, purse your lips like you're blowing through a straw. Two or three more deep breaths. And then taking your time to come into a pause, into a stillness. If you feel like you want to do a twist, go ahead and let those knees move side to side. Maybe roll your head side to side. Maybe bring your knees to your chest. Just take another minute, really exploring the work we've done. Being really curious. My body can do this, and my body can do this, and my body likes this, and playing. Keep going, and when you feel like you're ready to settle into Shavasana, corpse pose, go ahead and make your way there now. We're going to take the last couple of minutes with relaxation breath, 4-7-8 breath. And basically, it's a breathing technique where you're going to inhale through the nose for 4. You're going to hold your breath, but relax for 7. And then you're going to take a nice long exhale for 8. So even if you're still moving right now, go ahead and challenge yourself to be breathing with us. Here we go. Big exhale. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Keep pushing it out. 2, 1. Inhale through the nose. Holding. 1, 2, 3. Holding your breath, but being very relaxed. 7, and exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale through the nose for 4, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath, but relax the muscles. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and releasing the breath. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep pushing. 3, 2, 1. Last one in through the nose. Hold and relax for 7. And then let it all out. Do one more on your own. Inhale 4, hold 7, exhale 8. And allow yourself to settle into a still position, a still place. Allow yourself to relax the muscles of the eyes, the tongue, the jaw, the throat, the chest. Let the arms and legs spread out and open and just feel this so heldness by the floor. You can just splash out, taking up all this room. Just letting yourself grow heavier and heavier and heavier. The arms and the legs so heavy, they couldn't be lifted even with a crane. You're just so heavy here. And turning on your gaze now, that inward glance, and just watch your body be breathed. Your mind will want to go off, but that's not the chore. The chore is to just focus the mind like a camera lens. Focus it on watching your body being breathed. We'll take 3 minutes here. Challenge yourself to take this time. I'll watch it for you. You can completely let go. I'll be right here. 3 minutes, about 24 to 30 breaths. Just receive the sequence today and begin.